Breaking that down, I feel like, as I've kind of been talking about on my channel now for a while, is that 2026, aside from the games, is going to be massive on where we get to see the evolution of the current interface and how Windows 11 operates within the Xbox experience, and how we're going to see a bunch of updates. Like, I think we will see the progression of where we're going by the end of this year. And then by the end of 2027, if they can get it functioning the way that they want it to, and I believe this would include backwards compatibility with your console games, then it will launch. But if they launch it before it is in a state where you're getting that access, I would definitely think they should hold off on that. It should be launching smooth, very minimal bugs, improvements to the actual look and feel of the user interface, and then seamless access to your current collection of games that you've owned on Xbox for all of these generations. I don't think that's something you would want to roll out after. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing here. The SoC sounds like they're working with AMD to be able to make that function, which is very exciting and cool to see, because you're going to be able to take that SoC, not just put it in the Xbox consoles, but I'm guessing they're going to use it on other devices too, maybe OEM devices. So you can have multiple different types of Xbox consoles. Now, there are a ton of rumors, they say, flying around about the potential price points for the next gen Xbox, but the truth is Microsoft itself doesn't know how much the next gen Xbox will be. That just makes complete sense with everything that's happening. I mean, we already have seen Steam Machine have to push back when they're actually going to be launching the Steam Machine because of the whole stuff going on within the market. Tariffs, RAM shortages, prices going up everywhere. The pricing is going to be very weird here going forward for the next number of years. And it is unfortunate for people who will want to get into this, because I think with these next gen consoles, the actual base of people that are going to be able to pick this up day one is going to be smaller than it has ever been across any generations of console gaming. And that's going to be PlayStation as well, which is, when we talk about the evolution of the ecosystem and the expansion of where games are going, it is extremely important for Xbox and PlayStation to get people playing their games in more places for the next gen, because I think the amount of people that are going to be picking up these consoles, if the prices are as high as people are expecting it at this point, you're going to see a shrinkage. Consoles have stagnated. I think next year you're going to see a shrinkage in sales across the board if the prices do go up. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of the way I do see it. Now, when it comes to the type of next gen console, they say here that it looks like they are pushing for a more premium experience from its first party offerings, but that doesn't mean Xbox will suddenly become inaccessible for those who can't justify the spend, which is goes on what we just talked about. It says, indeed, I'm told Microsoft expects the Gen 9 Xbox Series X, S, and PS5 to have a long tail, or longer tail than usual, as a result of this broadening hardware endpoint ecosystem. And that may be the solution for a lot of people next gen, which is crazy, is picking up the Gen 9 consoles, because those eventually are going to go down in price. I think those will eventually get to a point where they're very cheap to pick up and then still play a bunch of games great. Now, it says here that even if the next gen Xbox comes in at around $1,000, as some expect, the Series S players shouldn't expect to be suddenly cut off and priced. Yeah, that would be crazy to do that. So that does make sense. Developers of all shapes and sizes, Microsoft included, are building games that target the Nintendo Switch 2, Steam Deck, and other lower end types of devices. And that'll continue for a good chunk of time, even after the next gen Xbox launches. I would say more so than anything, the Switch 2 and the PC handhelds are playing a role in a very long tail for this current generation, because games are going to target those devices as those continue to spread out across the board, and as we get more of those in people's hands. And on this point, Jez here says that he's told Microsoft is also working with OEMs such as Asus and the like to build a variety of options for the next gen Xbox gamers across a range of price points, like the two Xbox Ally models. We've talked about this before. I think next gen, you're going to have more Xbox hardware than we have ever had in the history of Xbox, because of this whole OEM side of things. Like, it will have that Xbox look, feel, the games, potentially all the functionality that you're getting on the first party Xbox, but then you're also getting more options of where you want to jump in and power and all of that. And I think that overall, that is a good thing and needed. And it's falls right in line with the raising prices. I can't say that Xbox and Microsoft knew that the prices were going to be going up, that we're going to have RAM shortages, that we're going to be the whole tariff situation. But they are, I think, made a very good call with where they're going because of those things. And I think that is going to pay off when they're able to offer an Xbox for $200-300 less than the most premium one, or even more, maybe $500 less. You never know how low down they're going to be able to go in terms of pricing, depending on what is under the hood with these OEM consoles. Now, in terms of the first party console, it will be the baseline quintessential Xbox experience. This is where we could see more expensive, even more super premium Xbox consoles from Microsoft's Windows partners, as well as slimmed down, more affordable options on top. So that is great to hear. Now, as a hardware platform, it is the most ambitious yet, and does say this when it comes to MPUs, what's going on under the hood, all that. Microsoft is currently testing a new MPU-powered Highlights Reel feature for the Xbox Ally X, which takes your gameplay clips and automatically generates a shareable video of your best gameplay moments. And the feature is slated to drop in March 2026. So next month, we're going to start seeing this. It's going to be rolling out on the Ally X, of course, because it has that MPU. And the new types of features land well on the Xbox Ally X. They'll find their way onto the next gen Xbox too. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't end up landing on the next gen Xbox. If they're rolling it out to a bunch of people, they're testing it there. And then, of course, they're going to put it out on the next generation. And the hardware ecosystem that revolves around the Xbox Everywhere identity.